And we are live. Manchester United 2, Leeds United 0. So, great win for United. Elland Road, always a real difficult place to go. And United went, it wasn't a great performance. Let's not fool ourselves by the scoreline. But to walk away with Elland Road with a 2-0 win, fantastic stuff. After a relatively poor performance at Old Trafford, United did go in and we got the result. Now, at the end of the day, I don't think it was the best performance we put in all season. I think we were slow, we were a bit sloppy in build-up, and we struggled to get going at times, especially in that second half. But Marcus Rashford, Alejandro Garnacho stepped up to the play. They managed to get the goals and they got United a big win. So with Spurs losing, Newcastle dropping points, Arsenal dropping points, City still to play, Liverpool still to play, United's top four hopes have got a lot stronger and we really are favourite now. A 7-point gap on Tottenham Hotspur in 5th place. So a great performance, and that is something that is so important. Getting that Champions League football for next year will be key for United to go into this summer with new owners, bigger transfer budget. Let's go in, let's get some good players in, and let's see what happens next season. So we're going to start off here with a quick question for you guys. So just before everybody joins in, who was your man of the match for this match? Overall, I think there were some standout performances today. I think Sabitzer was very solid in the middle. He played a fantastic switch to Luke Shaw in the build-up to that Rashford goal. I think Fred had a solid match in terms of his tackling, winning the ball back. It was poor on the ball from Fred, but as we know, Fred is not a specialist on the ball. His passing has never been exceptional, but I do think Sabitzer very solid. Rashford effective when he got in front of goal. Did get that offside goal as well. And all things considered, a pretty good performance. If we are going to talk man of the match, it is a little bit difficult. I don't think United were great today, but I'm going to go for Sabitzer man of the match. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. So Sabitzer will be my man of the match. I do think Fred had a good match. I think Rashford was effective. Bruno Fernandes, he was everywhere. He was putting tackles in. He had a big chance at the end of that first half, but he did miss the opportunity. Ultimately, Sancho, a little bit quiet today. Wasn't quite as impactful as he was against Leeds on Wednesday night, but more minutes in the tank for him, building up his fitness, building up his match sharpness, and that is key in what will be a massive couple of weeks for United. So up next, of course, Barcelona. We will then play Leicester on Sunday. Then we have Barcelona in the second leg of the Europa League, and then the Carabao Cup final. So big matches coming up for United, and we are picking up a bit of form, which is good because obviously we did drop points against Leeds, we dropped points against Palace, lost against Arsenal. Our league form hasn't been great in this last couple of weeks, so to go to Elland Road, pick up a big 2-0 win, 3 points which will take us 7 clear in the top 4 race is absolutely massive. And we are in a position now where we are sitting, we are asking ourselves, if Casemiro wasn't suspended, if we had Casemiro at the Emirates against Leeds midweek, could United have been in a title race? If, buts and maybes, but the league table doesn't lie. If we did pick up some more points where we ought to have, especially in that Palace match and especially against Leeds in the last match, United certainly would be higher up that league table and we really would be pushing on, trying to compete for a Premier League title. But the main aim for this season, of course, was always going to be top 4, and we do seem to be very well set up for a strong end to the season in the league. Obviously, Barcelona will be a massive match midweek, and we will go into that match with no Lisandro Martinez, of course, but Casemiro has had a 3-game rest now, and he will go into that match full of fitness and ready to put on a great shift for United. So let me know what you think down in the comments, guys. I can see a couple people joining in with the stream. We are a little bit late, apologies for that. We had a technical delay with OBS, our streaming software that we do use, but everything seems to be working well now. Everything seems to be running smoothly, and just like United, we are back here and we are back on the game. So obviously City will be playing Aston Villa in a couple of minutes. Will be interesting to see how that match goes and how City fare out. If City drop points, it would be massive in terms of United finishing higher up that league table. We are currently above them. We have played a match more, of course, so that game in hand, if City do drop points, United will be there to capitalise, and that's what we want to see. I don't expect any Premier League title races from United, but I do expect us to purse City, purse Arsenal for the rest of the season. We have a good run-in of matches coming up. Of course, Leicester and then Liverpool away, but then it gets relatively easier for United, playing the likes of Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest in the upcoming week, so it will be a good time to be a United fan. Of course, Barcelona will be a great match, and one that we are all looking forward to very, very much, I am sure. So, what do you guys think about today's match? Get those comments in down below. Let's have a proper interactive discussion here on the live stream. So, a couple of people on Twitter saying Casemiro back on Thursday will be great. I do agree with that. I think today we've seen United really struggle with our build-up, and I think that highlights missing Varane, Martinez and Casemiro. As we know, David De Gea is not a great passer of the ball, so United will typically build out with those three. That triangle has been so important for United in terms of build-up and keeping clean sheets this season. No Casemiro, no Varane, no Martinez today. We came away with a 3 points, and that is most important. And those guys are rested. They will be fitter for the run-in, so it was a gamble worth taking, in my opinion, to rest them in that match. And certainly Erik ten Hag did get the 3 points, and I'm sure he is a very happy man considering how United played in that match. Wasn't a great performance, but whenever you're not playing well and you do manage to win the match, that is the biggest thing for me. Of course, Marcus Rashford up to 21 goals this season, really smashing it up. Here we go. New comment in there from Orbs. Good to see you back on the channel, my friend. It's been sometimes since I've seen United ahead of City. It really has. I do think that I saw that Man United have not finished ahead of Man City in the league since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. So if we manage to finish above City this year, what an achievement that would be. Of course, City still to play Aston Villa. That match currently is 0-0. I will bring updates as and when they come in for that for the duration of the stream, so we will keep our eye on that match. Of course, will be interesting. We'll see. At the minute, let me just put up the scores here. So 5 minutes played, still 0-0 in that match for anyone interested. So I'm a happy man sitting here. 3 wins, 3 big points. We should have won midweek, but with a win today, United are up to second place in the league, and it's an exciting time. Very, very happy for Garnacho getting that goal. I'm sure you guys are as well. He took a lot of stick. He got a lot of hate for his performance midweek against Leeds United. He responded with a goal, and he looked very, very good today when he came on as a sub. I do think at the minute it probably suits Garnacho more in that sub role, where he can be more impactful running at tired players, and that will get more out of him, build his confidence up as well. But certainly an important win and a good performance from Garnacho and a good performance from Marcus Rashford. So let's have a look at the stats for today's match for all you guys interested. So can see a couple more people joining in. Welcome to the stream and welcome to the channel if you are new. This is the United Philosophy. We are live after every Man United match, so don't forget, hop on here, join in with the community, smash that sub button as well so you never miss a video. So looking at the stats, pretty split match in terms of chance creation. United 2 goals to Leeds 0, obviously. 16 shots to United, 11 for Leeds, 5 on target for United and 6 on league for Leeds. So Leeds were certainly very dangerous on the counter-attack, a real threat that they offered all match. I thought Gnonto was very good again. He really has impressed me in recent weeks. I do think he is a very promising young player, but as we can see, United did boss the possession, more passes than Leeds, and we were just waiting for XG to follow through with those stats. But overall, a split match, and United were more clinical, which is something I am very happy to say. Far too often this season, United have been wasteful in front of goal. So for United to go pick up 2 goals away, 2 good goals as well. Great cross from Luke Shaw for that first Rashford header, and Garnacho with a fantastic finish, beating Maguire at the near post. So new comment in there, Now McCabe, tough loss for Leeds in their cup final. At least they got to see the famous Man United and sing about Munich. Absolute dirt. Yeah, well, it was a constant of the match. Of course, there was Leeds fans singing about the Munich air disaster, something that typically does happen when we go to Leeds. There is that intense hatred, and there will be inflammatory chants from both sides, but it only matters about the 3 points. And as you said, Leeds Cup final, they lost it, so that is 3 seasons now where they've failed to beat United since coming back up. So let's keep it that way. Let's continue to pick up points against Leeds, and it's just a shame we didn't win midweek. So David De Gea today, his 400th Premier League appearance, and he has said today wasn't about it, it was about winning the game, and we did that now, and I can enjoy the 400 Premier League and the landmark that it is. So David De Gea, of course, 400 Premier League appearances. He managed to equal Peter Schmeichel's clean sheet record for United, and chances are by the end of the season he probably will beat that record. He will be United's all-time top clean sheet in the Premier League. But I do think it is slowly starting to get to that time where David De Gea will be moved on at Man United. We've seen today a couple chances for Leeds because of poor passing out of the back, something that we have been better at this season. But the limitations of De Gea's game are really exposed when we don't have Martinez, we don't have Varane, we don't have Casemiro. That triangle is so good for United building up out of the back, and it is something that we have leaned on all season. When it wasn't there, we struggled to get up the pitch. There was a lot of long balls in that first half, and I think Weghorst didn't have a particularly good match in this one, but he was more effective in the second half. He actually played better in the number 10 position than he did at striker, something that Erik ten Hag, I'm sure, will be very happy about. His tactical decision paying dividends and getting United the 3 points in that match. So I'm a happy man sitting here with United having won this match. Leeds Cup final again spoiled by the mighty Reds from Manchester. So let me know what you think in the comments, guys. There is a question: who is your man of the match? Also a comment in there from earlier that I did miss at the time from Anthony, heading out bro, but what a dub. So yeah, I mean, man, great win, and thanks for supporting the channel as always, even if you can't join us live here on the stream. But I do feel like a happy man today with 3 big points for United, and we've capitalised on other teams around us dropping points, something we haven't been able to do. Of course, dropping points against Palace, against Leeds. United did lose those points when Tottenham Hotspur, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal had dropped points around us. We have capitalised this time, and we've moved 3 points on all our rivals this Sunday. So a very good day, a Carlsberg weekend for some, I am sure, and a very, very good end to a very good weekend for all sports where I'm concerned anyway. Ireland smashing it in rugby, of course. Manchester United beating Leeds, always a good day whenever you have something like that. So goal has just gone in the Man City match for anyone interested. 1-0 to City, Rodri with the goal for Manchester City. So they probably will go back above us. I don't expect Villa to come from behind at the Etihad, but there is just the update for you guys. So let's see if I can bring you some quotes here coming in from Erik ten Hag and the Manchester United players. So just waiting for a couple to come in. Marcus Rashford on Instagram, important win for the boys, and another goal for Alejandro Garnacho. So good to see the support from Rashford for Garnacho there. Of course, Erik ten Hag with a great celebration as Garnacho scored. So I do feel like he was very happy for Garnacho. He picked up a lot of unfair criticism. As we know, at Man United, we support our young players, and Garnacho is having a great season breaking into the team. He's only 18 years old, and of course, he has so much time to develop. The one thing you will always get with young players is inconsistency, and they can sometimes be wasteful, and sometimes they can be impactful. Unfortunately for us today, Garnacho was impactful when he came on. So Garnacho has more goals and assists off the bench than any other player in the Premier League this season, going by the stats. So that would highlight what a lot of us United fans feel is Garnacho so impactful coming off the bench. He has a great impact sub down that left hand side, especially as players begin to tire. Putting on Garnacho, someone quick, electric pace, who is a fantastic dribbler and will just keep running at defenders, is certainly a big impact sub, and it is paying dividends for Erik ten Hag's team this season. So very impressed with Garnacho, very impressed with his use across the season, and overall I'm very, very happy as a Man United fan here with 3 big points. So just waiting for some more quotes to come in to bring you guys, so we'll get the next question down in the chat. So this is the big one, of course. As we know, Eric Tenhag has stressed this all season. You can enjoy the win, but it's always about the next match. So, let me just do that. So who starts against Barcelona? So a lot of changes today, especially at the back. We've seen Aaron Wan-Bissaka dropped. We've seen Dalot come in. We've seen Varane and Martinez dropped. Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw started at centre back, and Malacia was at left back. So there was changes today. Good to see us get some rotation in. Now I was a bit surprised before the match that Martinez wasn't playing. Of course, he has picked up a suspension for the away leg in Barcelona because of an accumulation of cards across the season in the Europa League. So I was surprised to not see him in this match. For me, going up against Barcelona, I think I would go for Varane and Luke Shaw as my centre-back pairing with Malacia at left-back. It could well be Harry Maguire, but I don't think Maguire played well enough today to really earn himself a starting position going away to Barcelona. I think Luke Shaw will be the safer option in that match. I think if Shaw comes in, he can do a good job against top level strikers. We've seen in the Manchester derby, of course, he did a great job up against Erling Haaland, and hopefully he can do something similar against Robert Lewandowski in that match. Especially whenever we consider our build-up play, I do think Shaw will be the better pick at centre back. We've seen Harry Maguire today, a lot of touches, and he really slowed things down around him. That made us easier to press, and it made it harder for us to get up the pitch. Luke Shaw is a very good progressor of the ball, both in terms of passing, and he can carry the ball as well. And as well, we do have the added impact, of course, that when Shaw's on the pitch, he can double up as a left back with Tyrell Malacia, so that would help to negate the likes of Rafinha down that right hand side. So I will go Luke Shaw in that match. Couple of stats to bring you guys. Lisandro Martinez in 30 minutes against Leeds had 38 touches, 30 passes. He won 3 tackles on the ground, 3 tackles in the air as well, and completed 2 out of 3 long balls. A very good performance from Martinez off the bench, and he will be well rested going into the rest of the matches for the rest of the season. Of course, missing Barcelona this week gives him a week's break ahead of playing Leicester next Sunday and going into the second leg against Barcelona and the Carabao Cup final. So it'll be good for Eric Ten Hag, certainly, to have players getting that rest that they desperately need. We need to avoid burnout, and we need to give our players as much chance to stay fit for the rest of the season. As we know, we don't have the biggest squad in terms of quality. We do have a very good first 11 and a couple of capable substitute options, but beyond that, we're looking at young players, the likes of Garnacho and Palestri, and as centre back, we're looking at Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof. They're not on the same level as Varane or Martinez, so should we get that rest in for those players, it'll definitely help. So at the Etihad, they're actually singing at the minute, "We'll check when we want." So that just shows up Man City and the level you get from those guys. So new comments in there from Daniel. Where is Racer Boy? Good win. Yeah, I mean, it was a good win, man. I don't think Racer Boy is on here at the minute. Of course, he's a great supporter of the show and is usually very active in the comments. So yeah, I mean, obviously all the interaction is very much appreciated, and we do love to get some proper comments and chats going in on our live streams, especially after the match. A lot of things to talk about, as always, a lot of opinions, and I want to hear all your opinions on the show here today. So let me know what you think down below in the comments as you're coming in. So a couple of quotes coming through from you guys from Eric Ten Hag, so I will bring them to you right now. So sorry there. Eric Ten Hag says, Garnacho is a young player and he has a lot to learn. You've seen that on Wednesday. He made great actions without finishing. Today he had great skills with his dribbles, his pace, and a great finish. So it is what we have said for a while on the channel here. Young players will always be inconsistent, especially as they're just breaking into the team. They will have great matches, and they will have matches where they look a little bit off it. Garnacho was off it on Wednesday night, but he was back on it tonight, made an impact off the bench, and as we've already said, Garnacho is the most impactful sub in the Premier League this season in terms of goals and assists, so it is good to see him making an impact. Harry Maguire says, winning the game is the most important thing. It's not about myself. I put I put the team's miles before myself, whether I'm playing or not. I want them to do well and be successful. Yeah, I mean, Harry Maguire has to say that as United's captain, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Harry Maguire, a player I do expect to leave in the summer. Do you think there's a future for Harry Maguire? Let me know in the comments down below. Another stat to bring you guys as well. Marcus Rashford has scored more non-penalty goals in the Premier League this season than his best Premier League tally of 11. So he scored 12 Premier League goals already. So Rashford smashing it. 21 for the season. He's playing very, very well, and he's been very effective in front of goal. What I'd love to see from Rashford this season is the evolution in his play. Now, we did a video having a deep dive at this, a proper look at it, where we see Rashford picking up a lot more poachers' goals in the penalty box, something he lacked in his game, and as he has added those to his game, now we're seeing him pick up more and more goals. Erik ten Hag, before the match, of course, said he has scored 20 now. That was his first target for the season, and we want to see him hit 30 or 35 for the season. A good target to aim for Rashford, and it will be interesting. In there as well, new comments. Lucy Grafe, Lucy Baby, Harry Maguire loves fridges. Oh, racer boy, Daniel Ante, I'm a fridge. Yeah, interesting, mate. Yeah, I mean, good to see you on here as well, Daniel. So, if you guys want to get your thoughts into the comments down below, and yeah, we'll just keep rolling here on the stream. Plenty more to go through, and plenty to bring you guys across the duration of the stream. So we'll have another look here in terms of the City match, just to bring you guys the latest in that one. It is still 1-0 to Man City. Rodri with the goal in that one. So yeah, got a couple more quotes to bring you guys as well from Erik ten Hag. Marcus Rashford is definitely one of the best strikers in Europe at the minute. I was convinced from the first minute. I was really excited to work with him. I thought I could get more out of him. He has such high potential. At the end of the day, very true. Marcus Rashford has only turned 25 this season. He still has a couple years where he will be approaching his prime, and it will be exciting. So, new comment in there as well from Thomas saying, get rid of Harry Maguire. From Thomas and Bernadette. Joe, yep, I agree with that, Thomas, absolutely. I think Harry Maguire does have to go, and I think I don't expect him to be here beyond this season, so it will be Harry Maguire moving on. Of course, great to see you on the channel here, Thomas. Welcome if this is your first stream, and welcome to the channel, bringing you all the United news and content that you need for the rest of the season. So, Daniel Ante, new quote from Phil Jones. I should have started so I could bring back the pink boots. Phil Jones with the legendary pink boots, of course, that's a good reference to his corner kick taking days at Loftus Road back under Louis van Gaal. It was interesting to see Phil Jones back in the team, back in the squad today. Of course, he was basically exiled for most of the season, and he will be leaving on a free contract, having picked up several million from Man United across the years for not playing very many matches. I think in the last 3 seasons he's played 2 matches and picked up 75,000 a week, so not a bad gig for Phil Jones for sure. Yeah, just going to bring you some more comments here from Erik ten Hag as and when we get them. MUFC Scoop on Twitter, good channel to cover as well, and definitely worth a follow. Garnacho has been involved in 4 goals as a sub, the most in the Premier League, 2 goals, 2 assists, and this is the most out of any player. So as an 18-year-old, he is absolutely smashing it up this season, really enjoying a breakout year, and it is great to see another young player come through the ranks of Man United. So we'll get the next comment into the chat down below here, guys. And this will be one that I'm sure many people will be debating, of course. Can United push on in the league? Can we move up that league table? I think, overall, I think 3rd position is probably a realistic finish for United this year. If we can push on City and move on up that league table, it will be good, and it will be a fantastic sign of progress from United if we can move up that league table check and see how we are going compared to some of the best teams in world football. As we know, City struggling this season. There will potentially be punishments for breaches of financial fair play. A points deduction for City could see United claim that second spot in the league, of course, but I would prefer to do it by picking up more wins and more points than City across the season. So, speaking of Man City, still 1-0 in that match for anybody interested in the comments. But let me know what you think. Can United move up that league table? Can we push on now? Arsenal, of course, floundering in recent weeks, losing against Everton last week, dropping points against Brentford this week. There is potential for Arsenal to bottle it, and I mean, I think we would all absolutely love to see it. Of course, Arsenal fans, one of the most vocal fan bases about, and by their logic, they should have the league won by now because they have the best player in every position in the league. So a familiar story there. New quote coming in from Erik Ten Hag on Marcus Rashford. What a strike. That's what he's aiming for every game. I told him at the start of the season, every game you will be in the position to score and you have the capability of scoring. It's about keeping focus, and if he does that, he does score. Something I do think many United fans have always thought about Marcus Rashford is it's his mental application that held him back. Sometimes whenever it was more of an instinctive move, an instinctive finish, he managed to score very easily and he looked much better. Sometimes when Rashford has time to think and there is space between him and the keeper, he overthinks what he's going to do and he ends up being indecisive. This season he has been ruthless. It has been completely decisive. He has made his mind up early that he will go for headers, that he will look for poachers' finishes, and he has picked up 21 goals already this season. Fantastic return from him, of course. So let's have a look here at some more quotes coming in from you guys. So course, Erik Ten Hag saying about Marcus Rashford and his scoring of headers, saying it's something he's always been capable of, and it's just about focus, it's about watching the ball, and he has been coached into this season. Something as well that we did cover in that Rashford video, so if anyone wants to check that out, of course, feel free to do so. Rashford's heading goals have really started to pick up this year, something we've seen with the arrival of Benny McCarthy as a striking coach at United, that Marcus Rashford is picking up poachers' goals, picking up headed goals, and that will get him more finishes and higher goal tallies across the season by picking up those goals. Something that the likes of Erling Haaland, Harry Kane do week in, week out, is they pick up goals from seemingly easy finishes, but it's about knowing where to be, it's about knowing when to jump for the header, and that is something that Rashford has added to his game this year, and I do expect him to pass that 30 goal mark for the season. So some more quotes coming in from Erik Ten Hag to bring you guys. We show that we are a squad. We are the only team in Europe playing in 4 competitions, and then you have to use your squad. Everybody is contributing this season, so I do agree with that, and I do think that certainly Erik Ten Hag has used the squad well in recent weeks. New comment in there from Thomas. So Marcus Rashford is a good player for Man United, from Thomas and Bernadette. Yep, absolutely agree. I think he's really improved this season. He definitely looks like a more all-round player, and he certainly is playing better this season and putting up more goals across the year than he has done for any season so far. So Rashford's improvement has come at the same time as United have really took a step forward in the league position. So that is good to see, and that is something I am very happy with, is his overall progression. Erik Ten Hag, once again, we show that we are a squad. We are the only competition. We are the only team in all of England playing in 4 competitions, and yeah, I mean that's just what we had said, but it was. He definitely has a point there. We are certainly moving on as a footballing side. We are competing in 4 competitions. We have the Premier League, of course we have League Cup final coming up. We are in the 5th round of the FA Cup, and we play Barcelona this week in what will be a big match. There will be videos coming up on that on the channel this week. Make sure to hit that sub button to make sure you stay tuned for all that coming up and much more across the channel from a very busy month for United. So overall, very happy, very happy man sitting here with a big 3 points. So Marcus Rashford pouncing on a late scrappy Leeds, and they pay the price for the lack of quality. There is of course talk that Leeds' new manager could be Alfred Schuyler, the man who came into Ajax to replace Erik ten Hag this year, and he has been sacked already. So if he takes Leeds down, he might be one of my favourite managers coming out of the Netherlands. So I can see a couple more people joining as well. Welcome to the stream and welcome to the channel if you are new, of course. And yeah, we will bring you some more quotes coming through here from Erik ten Hag and the Manchester United team. We of course will have many things to raise here. So this is one that we did a video on yesterday, and if you do want to check it out, it is very interesting and makes for some interesting news for Man United, and I'll just get it into the chat to get your guy opinions. So who will be the new owners of Man United? This is something we looked at in depth yesterday, but we'll bring it up on the chat here so you guys can get your thoughts in down below. For me, I think it looks like it might be Qatar. Now, there was rumours came out last night that UEFA have greenlit Qatar to go in for United, and that will be very interesting. Of course, the initial resistance from UEFA was due to Qatari ownership of Paris Saint-Germain and now potentially Manchester United. But of course there are ways around this. There are two Red Bull teams currently in the Champions League, Red Bull Salzburg and Red Bull Leipzig. They're owned by the same group, so there are ways around the rules, and it does look like UEFA will allow Manchester United to be taken over by Qatar. Of course, Jim Ratcliffe is the heavy favourite at the minute. He was the initial bidder to come out and declare his interest in buying United. Would be interesting to see Jim Ratcliffe buy over Man United. Of course, he is supposedly a United fan, so it would be a good link in with the fans, and it would certainly be very interesting if that did come to fruition and Jim Ratcliffe ended up as United's owner. For me, I think it might be Qatar. There was talk come out tonight, of course, that Jim Ratcliffe is willing to pay a maximum of $4 billion for United. Now, the Glazers supposedly want $5 billion. It could go down to the wire, this one. And if Qatar want the club, they have the money to spend $5 billion on Manchester United for sure. And if Jim Ratcliffe isn't willing to raise his bid, I am sure the Glazers will sell to the highest bidder, because the Glazers have always been motivated by one thing, and that is money. And if a bigger offer comes in, they will take that offer for sure. So let me know what you think down in those comments, guys. Who do you think will be the new owners of Man United coming into next season? And a new comment in there from Sam as well. Good luck, mate. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you very much for joining us on the stream. And yeah, I mean, a lot of things to be coming up for, and I appreciate the nice message there, of course. So things to look forward to as United fans. A lot of news and a lot of new owner talk coming in. So it will be exciting, and of course everything will be brought to you here on the channel. So I do promise that. So we will go back over here for some quotes coming out from Old Trafford. So let's see, what is the latest the latest quotes coming through. There does seem to be a bit of delay, of course, on these. Ten Hag on Harry Maguire says, he will play his games definitely. We need him. He's a good player, but we have competitions, top quality in the backline, nice international competition, and we need that as a team. Now, I do agree with Erik ten Hag on that front. Apologies, just have a bit of a sore throat, so we are drinking water throughout the stream to keep going for you guys. So here's my thoughts on the Harry Maguire situation. Now, Harry Maguire came in as a player who was a pretty solid centre-back at Leicester and a good England international. Harry Maguire has never been worth £80 million. The expectations that were raised whenever he came into the club, of course, was that he would have a similar level of impact as to what Virgil van Dijk had at Liverpool. Now, Harry Maguire never had that level of quality in his game, but there are higher expectations on him because of his price tag. Now, Harry Maguire, when we were a more transitional team who played on the counter under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, was a much better centre-back and defender for that team than he is at the minute. Of course, when United sat back, Harry Maguire didn't have to worry about the space in behind him, so there was always that there was always the aspect of his game that everything was in front of him. He could read the game, he could come out, win headers and step into midfield. As we have become more progressive and we've moved up that pitch, Harry Maguire's deficiencies become more and more obvious. The lack of pace in his game certainly is a killer, and United play deeper when he is on the pitch, of course. So I don't think Harry Maguire is a long-term fit for the system, and I think most people do agree with that as well. So, some more quotes coming in here from Erik Ten Hag saying, "I was saying to Marcus Rashford, what a strike and what a header." And of course, Ten Hag loving the goal from Garnacho as well. So, great things for United, things to be excited about. If you guys want to get your thoughts into the comments on the match today, and who do you think will be the new owners of Man United? Certainly will be an exciting time for all United fans coming up, and there will be some more news coming for you guys. Let me just have a check here as well on the Man City match. For anyone interested, I will bring you the latest score right now. So, of course, City still 1-0 up, and it does seem to be all Man City in that match. Aston Villa, as we know, not the best team this season, and I do expect City to go on and win that match. Marcel Sabitzer says it was a deserved win for United, and he is a happy man, and he had a very good performance today. I did list Marcel Sabitzer as my man of the match for this one, so I think for sure Sabitzer had a fantastic match today. I think he will look even better when he's playing next to Casemiro, and he has that more freedom to move up the pitch. He did play okay with Fred today, but the lack of a proper number 6 holding did have an impact on his game and on Fred's game as well. So for me, I think Sabitzer had a very solid match, and he will only get better at United as well. I think Weghorst, he was okay today. I think a lot of people are getting frustrated with his lack of pace, but United are not a team set up to play to his strengths. We don't cross the ball whenever Sabitzer is on the pitch for some reason, but we do seem to cross it when Marcus Rashford is in the box, of course. Man United and Leeds condemn the fans' chant about historic tragedies. So, of course, as always, when United play Leeds or Liverpool, there will always be a couple of idiots who get things, who come out with some offensive chants towards the opposition. From Leeds, because Munich chants, of course, some United fans as well, singing songs about Leeds fans' experience in Turkey. But, I mean, it's football, it is a rivalry, and while it should be condemned, of course, it is something that is to be expected, certainly between United and Leeds. There is that historic hatred between the two teams, so it can happen. It can happen. So, we'll stay on here for another while for you guys. We'll bring you any new score updates from the Man City match. And if you guys want to get your comments in, floor is open. Let me know what you think about the match today, about United in general. How do you look at the weekend results, and where do you think we can finish in the league this season? For me, I think United are nailed on for that top 4 position, and I definitely think we will get there, especially Tottenham Hotspur with an injury to one of their best midfielders, Rodrigo Bentancur, out for 6 months. That will really damage Spurs' hopes of finishing top 4 this season. So the league table does look like good rating for United fans at the minute, and I'm sure that Erik Ten Hag will be a happy man sitting on the bus back to Manchester tonight. So, of course, United up to 3rd in the league. Goal difference as well keeps going up as well. So that's good for United fans, and it's good for us as well. Disastrous start to the season, of course, really damaged our goal difference, but United 3rd in the league, 46 points from 23 matches played. We have a goal difference of 10 now, so it is creeping up, and we are 5 points clear of Newcastle, 7 points clear of Tottenham Hotspur in 5th, and we look well on for that top 4 finish. And that result today leads us just 5 points off Arsenal, of course, who do have a match in hand, but it's better to have points on the board than to be relying on other teams. So, new comment coming in there from Daniel. feeling that United are going to finish second. That's my prediction. It's a brave prediction, and it would be hard to see United finish above City. As we know, City can go on a run, and I do think City could still be favourites for the league title should they put together a run like we know they are capable of between now and the end of the season. Of course, Erling Haaland up front is a cheat code at times, and if he is back on form for City, I'm sure they'll start to pick up wins. So can see a couple more people joining in with the stream. Welcome to the channel if you are new, of course, and we're having a proper debate and some good interaction in the comments between United fans on today's result. So let me know what you think about today's result and where can United finish in the league table. Daniel has gone in with a second place prediction, so I think third, personally for me, is the most realistic, but second or even first would be a dream. So Eric Tenhag with some more comments for you guys. We made changes to avoid fatigue. We're the only team still in 4 competitions, and we have to rotate. We have to use the group from a tactical point of view, and I think that's what wins the game. I do agree with him there. There was certainly tactical tweaks in that second half that got us the 3 points, and a big win at that to boot. So I'm feeling positive. I'm a happy man sitting here with United with another big win. Daniel in there as well. In terms of new owners, I think Jim Ratcliffe going to come in clutch. It could happen, of course, having the backing of groups like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan Chase. Big investment banks certainly will help Jim Ratcliffe and his bid to become Man United owner. So anything could happen. Qatar do have the money to buy United and could table a bigger offer for the club, but Jim Ratcliffe well positioned as well, so let's not count anybody out of the race. Of course, excited to see what Sabitzer can do in a pivot with Casemiro, should free him up a bit more. I do agree with that comment on Twitter there from United Plug, and I think Sabitzer will be a player who gets better the more time he is with United. Of course, playing with Fred and 2 number 8 is a little bit difficult for him, of course. Doesn't let him get up and down the pitch in the way he would want to. He was dropping deep, picking the ball up. He took responsibility, which I did like to see, and he has impressed me in the 2 matches he has played so far for United this season, and he looks like a very capable backup to Christian Eriksen, of course, who is out until May now. So we will need Sabitzer on top form, and I would like to see him and Casemiro start in midfield against Barcelona. That would be my preferred choice, but I could see Ten Hag go with Fred. Garnacho criticised by some United fans in recent weeks for his performances, but he silenced them all today. Yeah, of course, as we know, a channel who we will not mention by name on the channel here came out with a video dissing Garnacho the other night, and yeah, I mean, if you can't support players who are 18 at Man United, probably shouldn't be supporting United, because young players coming through is part of the history and the culture of this club, and that is something United will never ever move away from. So a couple more people joining in with the chat as well, and a couple of people joining the stream. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for joining in with us today. Of course, get those thoughts into the get your thoughts into the comments there. Who is just absolute rubbish? Oh, there's two questions in there from Daniel. Sorry, got a question for you. Who's the worst popular United creator? Who is just absolute rubbish? A lot of people like to hate on United Stand. I do think United Stand bring great content out there. It isn't the most in-depth tactical, and it is certainly a bit hot take, a bit reactionary, but I don't hate United Stand. United People's TV, a great channel as well. Stretford Paddock, a very good channel. I think if you're looking at the worst content creators out there, I don't think anyone is bad at the content they make. I think it's just their style of content, how they try to bring it across. There are, of course, channels who just spout negativity for the sake of views, put out clickbait, put out fake news as well. Something you will notice, of course, if you are a United fan, is a lot of fake channels out there who create fake news stories, and it's all AI generated. So those would probably be the worst if you're talking about creators on here, because it's just made up clickbait read out by AI voices. So that is that. Any more thoughts? Let me know down in the comments, guys. City and Aston Villa is now gone 2-0 to Man City, and Goal scored by Ilkay Gundogan, so that is going to be a City win for sure. Aston Villa are not turning 2 goals around at the Etihad, especially not the way they've been playing this season. Tyrell Malacia goes in there, a late away win. He looks a happy man today. Fred got the official man of the match for today's match, so that is interesting. Who do you think was the man of the match in your opinion? Of course, Sky went with Fred for this match. I think Sabitzer could have been a good shout. I think Luke Shaw had a solid match, and I think as well Marcus Rashford effective as always, and his goal really was the difference maker in that one. Daniel, is that a thing? I'm assuming that's about the AI things. It is true. Unfortunately, people do tend to fall for him. Whenever it's news that people want to see, they will typically click on it, and it's where a lot of fake rumours seem to pick up. So it's basically just AI bots that go across different internet sites, pick up rumours, and they script videos for them. So I'm pretty sure it's all just chat GPT. So if you do see those channels out there, not to report them, but I would just take what they say with a pinch of salt. So we'll get some more news and some more quotes for you guys coming in, as always, bringing you the latest on the channel here. So been a good stream, been a good day as well. Big 3 points for United, and definitely a great day. So Stretford Paddock in there, it's incredible in spite of our injury crisis, with the only team left in 4 competition. Fantastic involvement from everyone in the club. Do agree with that. And yep, Ilkay Gundogan with a goal for City there. So City heading back up to 2nd place. Tenhag, latest quote here to bring you guys. So Tenhag says the key factor in the win was just to play football. A long time in the game we didn't. Our pass security was not good. Our players have better skills than making so many passing mistakes, and we don't get composure and calmness in the game. You will struggle. That is something brought up a lot by Erik ten Hag, is his obsession with controlling matches. Something United need to be better at doing is controlling the game, controlling the chances, and holding more of the ball. When you do that, you control the match, you control the outcome, and ultimately in the end today, United did get control over the match, so that was good for Erik ten Hag's team. And when United don't have control, we don't seem to be strong enough to keep teams out. We've seen it against Leeds midweek. We started both halves very poorly, no control over the ball, no control over the game, and we lost 2 goals to it in that match. Arsenal, of course, we didn't control, and we lost control in the Crystal Palace match, something that did hurt us in the end as we dropped points. So that is the latest news there from Erik ten Hag. United keep on going, and it certainly is very, very, very positive. Something as well I would like to bring up, and we'll just have a quick chat about it here, is the standard of refereeing in the Premier League. Now, of course, many mistakes made across the weekend. We've seen in the Arsenal match, the VAR forgot to draw the lines on to determine whether the goal was offside or not. For Brentford, Thomas Souček handballed the ball in the penalty box against Chelsea yesterday, cleared it off the line with his hand, nothing given. Poor performance today as well from the referee. Too many free kicks given in the first half, and then complete opposite in the second half, where there were crunching tackles with no real repercussions. I do think serious conversations are needed, and United definitely haven't benefited at all from refereeing decisions this year. So big improvements needed for the Premier League, of course. Penalty to Man City in their match, one team who seemingly have no problem with the referees, so I would expect that to be an Erling Haaland goal for any of you FPL players. Yeah, 3 points on the way for Man City for sure. So it will be interesting to see how the rest of the season goes. Of course, next up for United is Leicester City in the league. We will play Barcelona, of course, before that. So big matches coming up. So we'll just have a look at the next couple matches for United to bring you guys a picture of what is to come. So United play Barcelona on Thursday night. We then play Leicester on Sunday. Then second leg Barcelona next week, followed up by the EFL Cup final, which will be a big one for United, going for our first trophy in 6 long years. So that will be exciting, and look forward to looking forward to bringing you a lot of content coming up to the League Cup final. Of course, after that is West Ham in the FA Cup, and then away to Anfield, which will be a massive match against Liverpool. Always one to look forward to, going to Anfield and seeing how United can do against a Liverpool team who are struggling this season, but they will be well up for that match, just the same way Leeds were well up for the match today and all week. Can confirm as well that it is 3-0 to Man City, and that goal has been scored from the penalty spot. So Riyad Mahrez with the goal there, not Erling Haaland who took it. So Pep seemingly wants to mess with FPL players once again. Manchester United have only lost one match since November the 6th. Erik tenhag is doing a great job. Absolutely agree with that. Of course, one loss since the 6th of November. Fantastic going for Man United. Of course, that came against Arsenal at the Emirates in a match with a very late winner scored by Eddie Nketiah. So United definitely much harder to beat, stronger at home, stronger away, and we are looking strong for the rest of the season. Any more thoughts, guys? Get them into the comments down below. Of course, interactive community, interactive chat here as well, so let me know what you think. Anyone new joining the stream, welcome as well. And welcome to the United Philosophy here on YouTube, a channel covering all things United, and there will be much more content coming up, so smash that sub button to stay tuned for everything coming up this month in what will be a massive month deciding United's season, really. So the win today puts us 5 clear of Newcastle, 7 clear of Spurs, 15 clear of Chelsea, 17 clear of Liverpool. We are 5 points behind Arsenal and 1 point ahead of City at the minute. Of course, with City winning, they will go back above us, but good things coming up for United. Much better and much stronger across the rest of the season, and it will be an exciting end to the campaign, and one that I'm sure many people are looking forward to. So with all that in mind, guys, I'm going to end the stream here. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you want to join in with the community here on the United Philosophy. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.